Okay. Okay, so let's see. Everything's looking good. For that. So, looking at my phone 1 second. Let's see. All right. Videos. Here we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, Achilles. Hi. What's up, Achilles? Just giving myself a mic check. I'll give you a shout out. Okay, I can hear myself in the video, so we have volume. We're good. We're good to go. Okay. Just got to do a couple more adjustments. I like the background. All right, good. Thank you, Achilles. Thank you for letting me know. Just want to make another adjustment. I like to put. Just gotta get a little adjusted here. Let's see. I like that painting to show in the background. Let me get that a little lower. Alright, and account settings. Alright, just give me a second, folks. I'm just still adjusting everything. I'm trying to get the right angles all the time, so let me see. I may have to go back up some. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's good like that. I got enough room to move my stuff about and to type right there. Okay. All right, folks, I'm just about ready. Tested 1, 2, 3. And greetings from the Spiders Lair. Thank you, everyone, for joining on this live chat. Okay, so we were talking about the Rings of Power last time. This was going to be just I was going to do like a season recap, but it was getting way too long, and I realized there was just some more detail I needed to add. So if you watched our last video or haven't, I can catch you up to where we were last. Where I was at last in the story was where Galadriel was just finding Arendar and the rest of the villagers. They came and pretty much helped them, but the battle wasn't over yet. They had to still go fight some orcs. So now Galadriel gets all her troops together, and they do that. They're going after the orcs now. So what happens is, setting up strategies of the orcs. Um, the father of the orcs, he's also, you know, planning them to come, getting ready. They have some kind of weird plan. Nobody knows yet. So remember at this point, he would like tunnels all under these towns, and they were snatching people up. They were snatching elves up. That's how they were getting their slaves. So these caverns still existed. The village people, when they did defend from the orcs, they actually defended that valley I was telling you guys about in the last episode. Like they were able to defend it. Okay. Um, they just pretty much filled in the holes the best they could, and they just put wood on it, wooden planks and stuff, and it was just crazy because it's like this is how they covered up their their orc holes, I guess. Cover those up, and then trying to rebuild everything and fight for the next oncoming attack. I guess they're just getting ready to be on the offense. So, meanwhile, um, Isidore, that's the orc's daddy, the half. I guess he's a half elf. You know, yeah, it is. Oh, that episode was what I'm talking about now. By the way, is episode like we're gonna be talking about pretty much 7, 8, and 9. So it's gonna be like jumping back and forth between those 3 episodes. I'm stringing. So we're pretty much at episode 7 now, and what's going on is that they get ready to battle the orcs again, but the orcs are coming at them as well. Now, mind you, they're in another town, and they took over the town. So um there was like that sword. I was telling you about the sword of Sauron. And Arendelle was telling Galadriel about the sword because he tried to destroy it. He tried to destroy it, but they couldn't destroy it by no means that they had. And he tried to destroy it, he couldn't. He told Galadriel about the sword, and you know, there was a villager around that he kept praising Sauron. the return of Sauron. He kept saying that, because remember the orcs. I mean, the elves where they were in the city that aligned with Sauron. So they're not trusted. But the old ways, the old schoolers, the true believers, they're the ones who are like, okay, you know what, Sauron. So they go to find they go to find he he infiltrates the camp at the battle and he gets the sword. Galadriel and Arendelle go after Isildur to take the sword. They trip him up. They take back, trip him up. Boom. They got the package from him. They take it back. Great. Um, the battle's still going on in the city, and what happens is like the orcs start to retreat, and that episode 7's ended where they get back to the base camp, and they during this time they never checked like they had a sword wrapped in like a cloth, so they never checked the cloth. So when they got back to the village and to secure this, they left a freaking little axe in there. It wasn't the sword, the half sword. But one of the followers, the one I was telling you about earlier, he's the one who has it because Arendelle gave him a mission to do earlier. He told him he had a mission for him. Israel guy had a mission for this guy, which was pretty much take the sword. So the dude takes it to this crazy spot, right? It's a spot on um oh, the orc sounds scared. Yeah, so he takes it to this weird spot, right? Like this sword, and he makes the sword bigger. This is like kind of like the end of episode 7, what I'm telling you. And he puts it like into the spot and turns it like a key, and that causes like a whole cavern to collapse. A bunch of water falls down. Now, remember I was telling you about those caverns that they were digging earlier? Well, apparently all those caverns led to a point of I mean, I don't know how physics, I guess, goes up, down, whatever around, leads to a point in a cavern where the water just falls into a cavern and pretty much erupts the volcano that's there. And they're asking, the father, Isidore, eruption. And um, but here's where it gets real funny. So, as the eruptions happen and all the villagers are running away, because now the entire freaking place is being destroyed by ash and lava. Um, Pretty much, I'll get to that's happening the exact thing. As this is happening, the author asked their father what it called, and pretty much this is pretty much going to be more how Mordor was made, I guess. I mean, doesn't really follow the law, but okay, this is supposed to be Mordor. We're supposed to believe. So at the end of it, which was my favorite part, Galadriel's just standing there. Where like when you have this entire entire um I don't know, a bunch of volcanic ash and rocks and lava, hot stuff coming out of, and she's just standing there with her eyes closed, and that's how it ends. Like it looks like she got destroyed. So initially, I was like, "Yeah, finally," but I was like, "Nah, she can't die. It's Galadriel. She's not gonna die." So I already knew better. So that's the way that episode ends. So like this whole village fight, they wind up getting the weapon anyway, and they wind up taking the weapon, and it was pretty much a key to open up a dam. I'll be damned. That made Mount Doom. Okay. So just quick lesson in physics, people. If all it took was water to make a volcano or what, we wouldn't have an Earth. But hey, whatever. That's where you see physics don't matter anymore. Because in the next episode, we find our antagonist Galadriel, and she's on the floor. Looks like she's covered in nothing but Cheeto dust. I swear to God, they call it they call her Chiladriel. She's covered with Cheeto dust. She gets up, face ash, multiple of a rock. Does it anyways because she's totally fine. Tell me about it. I'm telling you, she's totally fine. Problems. She's just walking around like nothing. um they show a horse with his horse is running now with his back on fire. I don't know why the horse is not on fire, or why all the humans pretty much survived. At first, I was like, "Oh, Galadriel, she got elven magic, yeah, whatever." She has an elven rope around her neck. Maybe she should have pulled it. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, she pretty much survives, and all the humans survive. Everybody's all right, but the town's burnt down. There's ash everywhere, so it's like everything burnt down. The humans are fireproof now, I guess, and whatever. It was just like somebody died, please. There's people like look like they're sleeping and not even dead. What that guy alive? Maybe it isn't. I don't know. So anyway, um, they got the queen going up. Um, I believe her name is if oh that's Muriel. Okay, Queen Muriel. They're pulling out survivors. I think she's with Elendil at that point. And what happened? A piece of wood falls down and comes out, I guess, towards her eyes, and I guess now she's blind. She becomes blind from this. Mind you, now, I said a few minutes ago, there's volcanic ash, lava, rock spewing from a volcano. They survived this, right? But she goes blind somehow by a piece of wood falling in front of her. Backtrack a little. Now we're going to talk about the Harfords at this point. Because at this point now, the Harfords are they're still on the move, but there's a bunch of these there's three witches. This is the best way to describe them. One of them they call Feminem because it looks like Slim Shady, but it's a female. Like I guess it's a female disciple. We don't know what these things are yet. They're tracking the stranger. That's what they're calling him now, the stranger. They're tracking the stranger, right? Yeah, exactly. So they're tracking the stranger, and they catch up to the Harfords, which honestly, those little Harford bastards should all be shot in the head. No I'm kidding. Those Harfords, man, they are evil. I'm telling you, evil. They gotta say it. No one walks alone. No one get left behind. But if you slow down, they'll leave you down and leave your ass behind. They'll take your wheels and tell stories about you and say, see you later. That's their deal. They're insane, those Harfords. I don't trust them. But anyway, now they're trotting about, and the witches, I guess, come, the disciples, whatever the hell these things are, that we don't know what they are yet at this point. But they come, and they pretty much just standing there looking around, and Mr. Brandyfoot has to defend the whole village, Don't harm a hair on my daughter's foot. I started laughing when he said that. For little Missy Brandyfoot. It's cute. So they just like one of the witches, just like the feminine one, grabs the fire, like takes it and just like blows it out of its hands, flies everywhere, not everywhere, only to the Hartford's little their little caravans. Remember, I was telling you in the last episode that they were just going on they relocate, in other words, they're moving on up, like the Jeffersons. So let's see. Feminem, yeah, Eminem. Look him up. You'll see his pictures. Mad funny. I'm not even lying when I say that's what they call him, Feminem. So it's supposed to be some kind of witch. So these witches wind up burning all the Hartford caravans, which I was clapping evil. I swear they're assholes, but it's so good. That's part of the that's part of their charm, I guess. So this is happening, everything's burning down, Now we get back to Galadriel and the rest of the gang that are caught. They caught Isidore, right? They caught him and they brought him back. Remember, I told you in the last a few minutes ago that they they were looking for the hilt of the sword, but now the hilt is being like already transferred over to Mount Doom. So while they capture him and it's interrogating him, that's how the episode 7 goes into 8, and so that's what up to now. He turned the key and made pretty much Mordor. Okay, that's how they made Mordor, Mount Doom, and You see the two towers. That's where that all supposed to be at the Southlands. So at this point now, um, father's away. He gets out, and that's what they're calling it. So he pretty much said this is the land for his children, so they can be, free and have their own place. So this is where the orcs are gonna live now. They destroyed that place, so no humans can live there now. That's fine. So now Galadriel, now she was hanging out with Halbrand, but he was in battle somewhere. And now, when this is all said and done, after all the ash is all settled and everybody's picking up and they're regrouping, you see Holobrand being brought back in by a bunch of soldiers, and apparently he got shanked somehow. He got shanked up real good. He was in bad condition. So they decide to go back to the Elven Kingdom with him. Now understand, like this is like wow, this is a week's journey, and the guy's got a hole in him. But okay, well, like I said, time doesn't matter. We'll teleport in 7 minutes, no problem. But it's a 7 day journey. Just to let you know, you got stabbed in the stomach, and you're doing a 7 day journey across a vast amount of land. So, getting back to their home base, the elves' home base, not their home, but where they were set up before they would go back home. Still 7 days away. So anyway, they get to their spot, and they give Halbrand over to the elves, because now understand the elves have no special kind of healing power. So you roll 7 days, which you could have got this guy help anyway, but that's besides the point. So anyway, they get him to the elves, and they start administering medicines or whatever to heal him. Um, as this is all going on, the high elf king comes, and he's telling them that, look, guys, we gotta wrap this up. We need to get out of here, because the tree of life, which is their tree back in the kingdom of Elrond, it's dying. So they're saying that's it. We gotta go. This shit's dying. We gotta get the hell out of here. We gotta go. I believe they were going to Valinor. Like they're all living like the Valinor. That's it. It's over. Game over. So they ask Celebrimbor craft. Now it's funny because to get this tower, but they never say specifically whether it's supposed to be for a wing or for a weapon. They just said they were going to craft something powerful and exquisite. So it's like they want there to build a tower to craft something, but didn't have anything to craft, I guess. So to the king, they suggested they were going to craft a crown. And even the king, I like how he stood his ground. He's like, I'm not really like he wasn't feeling the crown thing, I guess, because he's like too much power when one being's hand. It's like, that was cool, I guess. So they were trying to figure out with this mithril, the mithril that they're supposed to be using to live forever. They only have a rock of it. The elves, the dwarves don't want to help out in doing this, and mine got collapsed in, so they can't get anymore, I guess. Trying to figure out how they're gonna use this mithril to craft this I guess. So then he meets Halbrand winds up in the area where they were forging wherever they were getting ready to forge the crown, and he sees the metal, the mithril. He knows it's special, and he suggests to Celebrimbor, why don't you mix it with another metal and see if it'll coax together and it'll make it stronger and make it more with less. So he liked that idea. I guess he had the idea. He was like, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. So now the concept of crafting something big gets thrown out. But during this time, Galadriel has her suspicions about Halbrand, because Celebrimbor was saying some weird things that she heard Halbrand say to her, like about controlling people, power over flesh. This was what Celebrimbor was saying to her when they were talking about how they were gonna have to make something smaller and make the metal stretch. And so she started sending away one of her little Vulcan spies. Excuse me. She has like they look like the Vulcans from Star Trek. She sends a spy away to for something. She doesn't say exactly what, but she sends him away to get some info. I think she was looking to get info on Halbrand, because what happened was, if you guys remember, I told you in the last issue in the last episode that she sees a crescent that he's wearing, and it's the King of the Southlands crescent. So she asks his initial, it's like I took that as he was being sarcastic and pretty much declared him the King of the South, like the descendants of the South. So anyway, during this time now, Celebrimbor and Halbrand are working together to try to figure out what they're gonna make, and then they figure it out. He tells Halbrand tells Galadriel, he meets her in the garden and says, "Oh yeah, we know what we're gonna do now. We're gonna make two um we're gonna make two crowns of power, but something smaller." So they're not even saying rings at this point. So then Galadriel throws a scroll like a Halbrand. It says that the king of the South, there hasn't been a king in the South for 1,000 years. I mean, I don't know how he doesn't know that, being like almost immortal. You should know this. I mean, you've been traveling around for hundreds of years. How can you not run across that one fact that there hasn't been a king in the South? But I digress. So anyway, um, and this is where um the big reveal becomes revealed. You find out then that Halbrand, surprise to no one, is Sauron. And he reveals himself to her. And he shows her all the things that happen and why it's happening. And she pretty much is telling us all this. It's her fault. She did this. And she didn't do all this when this would happen. She was the one who did everything. She made everything happen. Her trying to find Sauron to kill him, whatnot. She's the one who brought him there. She's the one who led everything that's happening now is her fault. And she knows it. So he reveals himself. That's a big reveal. He disappears, obviously, the gig is up. However, she realizes, yeah, we gotta do something. We gotta definitely make these whatevers. So she pretty much like doesn't tell the others, and Celebrimbor figures it out. We need to make rings. And she was like, she suggests, now this never happens in Tolkien's lore. So she suggests, because one ring is one ring is power, two will divide, three is like a three doesn't divide. I don't know, three is a trinity. So whatever. This is her saying it, not me. So I was like, okay, whatever, lady. She pretty much suggests that they make the three rings of power. And now that, but in order for them to do that, she has her brother Finland's dagger. They need gold and silver from the Elven lands, and since I don't know, I guess these people don't travel and take gold and silver with them, because in a normal world, even if you're in a place for a while, you need something to barter with. So, all right, they'll take their own gold and silver with them, whatever. So anyway, the only gold and silver they had was Galadriel's dagger from her brother, and they have to melt that down. I see what you're saying. That sounds like a cool dagger. Yeah, I mean, because the dagger's supposed to be like, to make this kind of power, it required like sacrifice. And the sacrifice was a beloved piece of jewelry, or a dagger that was from a fallen brother. That was the sacrifice that was needed to imbue the power into the rings. You need all these things plus sacrifice. So it was necessary to make it. So she gave up the dagger. They show it melting, and they show them forging the rings. And you know, that's how they pretty much it takes about 15 years to show the process, but they from her dagger they make all three rings of power. And she gets one, Bryn gets one, and each one of them gets a ring of power. Craft their rings, and they're pretty much good to go. Um, Now, meanwhile, you've just figured out that this guy Halbrand is Sauron. So Sauron now they show him pretty much like he comes up on Mordor, Mount Doom, and they show him looking all like sinister and stuff, walking towards the fiery pits of Mount Doom, and suggested that if we're going by Tolkien's law, I don't know what law they're going by anymore. This is where he forges the one ring to control them all. this is where the ring of power is made. The real ring, the one ring to control them all. So in other words, yeah, Mount Doom, exactly. In other words, he's going and they show him pretty much showing up to Mount Doom. And that's in Mount Doom is where he forged the ring, which is why in the Lord of the Rings, you had to destroy it in Mount Doom. Because the only way you could be destroyed is in the very place that it was forged, if you remember that. I just have a issue with their law because I'm not sure exactly what they're allowed to use, what they're using or not. It's more suggestive than anything else. But we got to get back a little because I've got one important factor. Wait, what's that? Mount Doom, where you're gonna get doomed. Go get drop kick. Okay, I gotta go back some because I revealed that that was Sauron, but in the same episode, you they the stranger, the feminine and them catch up. They catch up to him. They shift into the little Brandyfoot, the girly girl Brandyfoot, and he chases the Brandyfoot girl to the forest. He transforms feminine, and they start battling. But more before that, they don't battle yet. They get down on their knees and they think that he's Sauron. Now I watched this from the beginning. I was like, yeah, right. No, he's not. We already know who he's supposed to be. I'll tell you who I believe he definitely should be, and maybe based for on their own adaptation and what they're allowed to use. So anyway, they get down their knees, the feminine chicks in them, and tell him you're Sauron. He doesn't have no recollection of this, but apparently he's Sauron, right? They're telling him this, and they're trying to show him how to use his power, what he could do. But every time he starts to get his memory back, they kind of stagger him. It's some Sadie Dayton. Yeah, they stagger him. They try to keep him under control till he can get his memory back. But to make that story a little shorter, pretty much what happens is they're attacking him. He's fighting them back. The little Brandyfoot's telling him, "Listen, this is not who you are. You're not Sauron. You're good. You're a good guy. Whatever." So he listens to her, rages out, fights back, and him and Feminem have a battle of the decade of the millennium. They're going back and forth, but he has Feminem's staff. Takes the staff and does something like tells him to go where you know just disperse, go where you came from. He says some kind of light it's some kind of like counter spelling, I guess. And when he hits Feminem and the other two witches, you could see they look like the wraiths from the other world, like the kings and stuff. They look like those wraiths. They could be them, so we're not sure what the hell these things are. But he makes them pretty much disintegrate and disappear. All three of them, the staff gets gone as well. He's okay. Um, then you find out that yeah, he wasn't Sauron after all. Now, I believe that they're trying to get what I like to call free advertisement. Now, I'm not gonna say who they want you to believe it is because that's free advertisement to them. So I won't say that. What I will say is it can't be the person that we think it is because I don't think they have the legal right to use it. How? So let me see. Achilles does feminine where she does. I don't know, man. I'm not even trying to look that way. When you look at that thing, I don't know if it's a human or a goat. It just has the weirdest freaking eyes, man. So the way that the whole show wraps up is like this. We find out that I almost say his word, that's not who he's supposed to be. The wizard, because he finds out he definitely is a wizard, so he fell out the sky. It's a wizard for sure. During this age, I'm not sure if those wizards were around, but the blue wizards were. So could be a wizard. That's what I believe. So we find out the stranger's a wizard, blue wizard, as far as I'm concerned, and Halbrand is Sauron. I mean, even if you were watching the show, I mean, it's not hard to figure this out. I kind of figured this out from like the first episode. It's like I picked this off easy. I was like, oh, there's this one, there's that one. I just wanted to be wrong, but I wanted. So when they try to do the twist on you, I knew I was laughing. I was like, come on, that's too obvious. Okay, so now I went over the entire show, and I'll take any questions if you guys have them. But I'm gonna just speak about what I think about the show overall. I'm gonna give you like first of all what I think about it. If I had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, it's gonna get about I'm gonna say about a 4.5. Okay, and that's being generous. I was gonna actually give it a 4, but I'll give it a half. Like the music, some of the special effects, especially at the beginning. Wow, you can see these things was badass. And I was getting excited because I thought, wow, this is the way this show's gonna be. Cool, But the effects were good in a lot of the parts, right? How many comics would you say you have? Oh man, how many comics? I got tens of thousands. How many? About tens of thousands, maybe more. So, um, what happens in the show? What I didn't like about it was that the graphics were good. Yes, indeed, Achilles, indeed. The graphics were great, and certain other parts didn't look right. I mean, I had a problem with it being a little choppy. If you didn't brag about you're putting $1 million, you're saying, oh, right, well, then I expect high quality. There is a lot of room for improvement. I don't say that there isn't. I just already know, first of all, this show is not going to come out for another 2 years because this is bad for the studio. Believe me, they want to take their time putting the next one out because if this was their project to, either see Amazon Studios rise or fall, this will kill Amazon Studios. So they need to leave that out for like a year or two, rewrite it really good or something. Hey, I'll write some of this for you. I know I could wrap this up real good. But don't worry, I'm not gonna share it here. You contact me on my Fighters Layer page. But I'll tell you right now, um, I didn't like the whole Galadriel thing because Galadriel was never a warrior. She's an elegant, beautiful, powerful elf, and she's 6'3" or 4" in the movies, maybe 6'2". She's tall. This Galadriel's 5'2". Galadriel was never a warrior. This Galadriel is a warrior. Galadriel never went to Numenor. This Galadriel was in Numenor. Galadriel never ran into Sauron in the middle of the ocean. This Galadriel did. And they almost made it like as if she was going to have a love affair with the enemy himself. Yet she's married. They don't mention the husband. They mention him once. He's off to war. She thinks he's dead. Never happened. She has a kid. Don't know where the kid's at. Kid could have died with the father. Never happened. But this is what's going on. In their lore. So I didn't like what they did with Galadriel. They should have never messed with her. I mean, I get it. You want to make a hero, but okay, pick somebody else. Make up somebody else. You already made up a lot of the lore. You could have had a rogue freaking elf out there who could have been answering to Galadriel, but nah. So wait, they did. Oh no, reverse the original. Yeah, exactly. They pretty much took her from being. She's powerful. She's one of the bearers of the rings of power, the uncorruptible ones. What I didn't like is Sauron also says lines to her in the same freaking lines that she says when she grabs the ring of power in the Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you guys remember that scene, and she becomes really dark. He recites that line to her when he has her in like a mind dimensional reveal. Like she tried to kill him, so he kind of put her under a spell. Was showing her who he was. Showing how powerful he was. Says the same line, and I was like, okay, I see where this is going. So, I mean, I guess they're working around whatever they can say legally, what they bought. But bottom line is this: the show itself. I mean, you have $1 billion, guys. There was one scene in episode 5. It's all over online. You guys can find this, but there's numerous scenes. They have this one scene where it's just like about maybe 90 people, but really only 20 shot the entire thing, putting the people in the same shot over and over and over again. And I'm like, but you guys spent $1 billion. Just spend a few dollars on just real. It wasn't a lot, 100. I found it to be weird. It was just little things they kept doing. And Galadriel stepping on the deck of this, they're going into Numenor. It looks phony. It looks far out. But yet, going into the city looks fantastic. So I'm like, damn, I was just having mixed emotions about it. But I'm not gonna lie, I would watch the second one in hopes that maybe they can do it better. But regardless, we gonna watch it because it gives us something to talk about. You know, um, I'm gonna wrap this video up now because I really want to have this finished the first time we did, but it's all good though. I was able to put in more details, and both my videos will be up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna next week sometime I'm gonna combine parts one and part two together, and I'm gonna put them together as one. People don't have to keep searching for two videos. You'll have it in one video. So thank you all for coming, because every time you do, you make us feel special. And we hope we do the same for you. That's going to wrap it for this live stream. Thank you guys. And we hope you guys enjoy that unveiling of the season finale from the Spider's Lair. Peace and love, everyone. And remember, the Spider Verse is standing strong, and we are out.